Hey everybody, this is Odie and the Writer here talking to you about the top 5 espresso makers for under 150 bucks. Number 5 is the Mr. Coffee 4-cup Steam Espresso system with milk frother. Now, this is really the bottom of the barrel. $40, you're not going to really get much for this price. First of all, you're going to get a subpar cup of coffee. And here's what I mean. This is a steam system, not a bar system. Your traditional espresso machines start on a 10 bar system and they work their way up. Professional grade is anything over 15 bars. So this is done on a steam system, which means that it's not on bar. It's basically boiling water and then it condenses in the coffee hopper and then you're getting the coffee that's coming out. Also, your traditional espresso shots are only 1 and 2 ounces. This one actually does 4 cups of coffee. So what you're getting is more of a steam-powered percolator with a milk frother on the side. When I first stepped into making espressos, I had a machine exactly like this one, and it's okay. If you didn't want an espresso and you're trying to do like a cappuccino or a latte, this can get the job done because it makes a cup of coffee and it also gives you the ability to froth the milk. But if you're trying to get a traditional cup of espresso, you're not going to get it out of this machine. Next up, the Miller Espresso machine with Nespresso compatible capsule. Now, unlike everything else that's on this list, this is the only one that will not take traditional coffee. It actually uses a Nespresso like little capsule. It's kind of like a K-cup situation. I choose not to get one of them because I don't really like to create more waste that I find that K-cups actually create. But I found that this system actually works pretty good because the Nespresso, if you actually take the cups, you can mail it back to Nespresso and will basically recycle them for you. So it's all right. It comes in at about 80 bucks and it delivers 20 bars of pressure, which means you're going to get crema, or what they call the Guinness effect. As you can see in the cup here on the left-hand side, that foamy piece on the top is known as crema, or the Guinness effect that you're going to get with a high-pressure system. It's not really bad, and if you want to go ahead and pick this one up, you can check the links in the description. Let's move on to number 3. Number 3 is the DeLonghi EC 155 15-bar pump espresso with a cappuccino maker. Now, I've owned this cappuccino maker, and I will tell you exactly the problem with it. Those cups are very deceiving. Now, you would think you can stick a cup under there and then pull a perfect espresso every time, but that's not the case. This espresso maker is made only for espresso cups, which means that you have to have a 1 ounce or 2 ounce cup to collect your coffee in. You cannot stick your regular 8-ounce mug that you have at home. So in purchasing this, I did not realize that and had to go out and purchase my own specialty cups because I could not get any espresso out of the machine without it. With that being said, the milk frother is actually pretty decent. It does a pretty good job of creating a good amount of froth for you to create a latte or a cappuccino. The only issue I ran into this is that you normally have to heat up the heating element for about 30 minutes to almost an hour, depending on how much you're trying to do. So let's say you're trying to just do a personal cup of coffee. You have to set it to the espresso steamer setting, which will then turn the steam on heating element on, leave it for about 30 minutes. You can pull about 2 ounces just fine, but if you're trying to do it for more than 2 ounces, I've found that you have to let it heat up for at least an hour. It gives the ability for the heating element to stay at a consistent temperature when you go to pull your espresso. Now, at $88.99 or 90 bucks, it's not a bad deal, and it gets the job done. If you want more on this, go ahead and check the links in the description. Moving on to number 2, the DeLonghi ECP 3420 bar pump espresso and cappuccino maker. This one is the one that I use. This is my daily driver, and the reason why I got it and the reason why I love it is very simple. For $120, I was able to put a full-size cup under my espresso machine, and it can warm up in less than 15 minutes. It has 15 bars of pressure, which means you will get crema out of this machine, and on top of all of that, you can use your regular standard mugs you have at your home, and I find the frothing wand to be good enough to get your decent latte or decent cappuccino. You will have to use full-fat milk, I found, to get the perfect amount of bubbles in your the cappuccinos or the lattes that you do, mostly because the concentration of the air is not as such that you could use it to froth up, let's say, almond milk very easily compared to just a full fat milk. But for $120, it gets the job done. Link in the description for more information. Last but not least is the AI Cook Espresso Maker Barista Espresso Coffee Maker One-Touch Digital System. Now, this does 15 bars, which means it will give you crema, but I do not own this one, nor do I like this particular design. The reason why it made the list is because it was under $150. At $125, it can get the job done. My issue is basically it comes down to the milk frother. As you can see, you have to fill it up with milk. You don't have to fill it all the way to the top to froth your milk properly, but you do have to put a substantial amount of milk in to froth it, and it's just one extra thing you have to clean. And for me, I prefer an easy cleaning situation with my cappuccino maker. Now, because of the fact that you can have this set to being digital, it will auto turn off, while the other cappuccino makers on this list will not auto turn off, except for the Nespresso one. They will stay on, so if you leave it on, you go to sleep and you wake up, there's a good chance you would burn out your heat element. That will not happen in this case, but I've never heard of AI Cook, but it came very well reviewed on other websites, which is why it made the list. But that is your top 5 espresso makers for under $150. Make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe, and follow me on social media at Odian the Writer.